gang violence and other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. But I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's the Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Well, we're learning more this morning about a woman allegedly murdered by her Uber driver just yards from her home.
Metro Police now tell us that that Uber driver allegedly confessed to that murder.
Wow, so you have a woman who was deleted by her Uber driver, and now he has confessed to the crime. And the woman was, she's no longer with us, unfortunately. Now, there are reports that this woman was a stripper and this Uber driver was picking this woman up from her job. But that does not warrant being murdered, okay? And, unfortunately, stripping can definitely be a dangerous job. It honestly requires a high level of security when you're at the club, but once you leave the club, you're pretty much on your own. So I think a lot of women overlook the risk of stripping and they're mostly looking into the money, but it can be a very dangerous endeavor for any woman who, is single.
Matthew Foltz is following this story this morning with more on a crime that police are calling not only disturbing, but disgusting. Good morning, Matthew.
Hey, good morning to you both. This is just a heartbreaking story all the way around. Metro Police telling us that they have arrested 29-year-old Francisco Valadez in connection to Chanti Dixon's murder. Now, officers say that they found Dixon on Sunday naked in a wooded area along Wagner Lane near East Raymond and Shervin Drive. She was found with gunshot wounds and pronounced dead at the scene. According to court documents, Dixon had ordered an Uber after she got off work around 3:30 Sunday morning. Police say Valadez gave investigators conflicting statements before admitting to shooting Dixon in the head while he was trying to have sex with her in the back of his car.
Wow, so he was actually taking advantage of her. And he ended up deleting her. Very sad, especially for her and her family. A lot of these guys out here, he wasn't even necessarily a John, but it just shows the dangers of women who are participating in intercourse work. Okay? It really is extremely dangerous, and I think that this part of the game, as they call it, is so overlooked. And it really makes you wonder, is the money really worth it?
Police also claims Dixon made him mad with something she said before shooting her.
This is disgusting. It's disturbing. And we, Ms. Dixon especially, her family, no one deserves to be treated this way in our community. And I am so sorry to her family that we're here today.
Now, Valadez is under arrest right now on a preliminary murder charge. Investigators are also asking anyone that may have encountered him on a rideshare to come forward. We also reached out to Uber, and they tell us that Valadez has been banned from their rideshare service. Meanwhile, Julia and Jalea coming up at 5:30. You'll hear more from neighbors living in that community and more about who Dixon was.
Tonight at 11, we want to take a closer look at the moments before investigators say a woman was killed by her rideshare driver on the southeast side of Indianapolis. Right now, 29-year-old Francisco Valadez is under arrest. Now,
it's a valid question to question his legal status, his citizenship status, which with a name like that has to be a priority that we're asking here. Is this another result of Kamala's bloody border? I really hope not. But needless to say, these super burrito gremlins are on demon time.
We just got the court documents in this case. Our Logan Gay has been combing through them tonight. Logan joins us to break it down for us. Logan?
Those documents say Francisco Valadez told two different stories to investigators before admitting he shot 30-year-old Chanti Dixon. He reportedly told police she made a comment that angered him. Police say Valadez picked Dixon up around 3:30 Sunday morning to take her home, but she never made it there. Investigators tell us he shot her and then left her body in a wooded area near Raymond Street and South Sherman Drive.
Now, I also think it's legit to say, hey, maybe he was picking her up from the strip club and he said, hey man, maybe I should pay for it. He tried to pay for it, but when he takes his clothes off, as you guys hear in the reports, she ridicules him. Like I said, not a death sentence, but it explains the dangers in being involved in sex work as a woman. So man, I really don't understand why these women continue to participate in this lifestyle. Well, I guess I kind of do because of the money. And, you know, some people have upbringings that make them feel like this is the only way they can be wanted. But when it ends like this, it always makes you think. Okay, it really does.
Court documents say Valadez told detectives he dragged Dixon's body from his car and put it behind a concrete barrier. Neighbors tell 13 News Dixon lived just yards away and had just moved in.
It affects us a lot because now it's like we don't know. You know what I'm saying? And most of the girls out here are single moms and stuff. There's not a man figure there. So,
I mean, you heard what she's saying. Most of the girls are single moms. They really don't have a way out, you know, from the standpoint of a man saving them. So it's concerning, I would say, very concerning that this is what modern women are resulting to in today's day and age.
you know, and some of them come in late at night. You know, it's disturbing to know that it's not even safe to even come home anymore. It's kind of disturbing.
According to court documents, Valadez was working for Uber that night. Police urge anyone who encountered Valadez as a driver to come forward. Uber confirms Valadez has now been banned from driving for the company, and they will assist IMPD with the investigation.
All right, Logan, thanks so much. And police tonight are reminding people that rideshare services are generally safe to use, but they do recommend sharing your ride with people that you know. Verify the driver and the make of the car and trust your gut.
Disgusting, it's disturbing. No one deserves to be treated this way in our community. And I'm so sorry to her.
An Indianapolis rideshare driver is arrested for murder after allegedly shooting and killing a female customer. Fox 59's Jesse Wells spoke to the woman's family and to IMPD's police chief about the case and has the very latest.
The victim's family tells me they tracked her phone down to these woods where they found her body and called police. Less than 24 hours later, IMPD had the suspect in custody and are now preaching a message of prevention. Just after 1 o'clock Monday afternoon, in these woods on Indy's near southeast side, a woman who had been reported missing hours earlier was found naked with a shirt pulled over her head. Police believe 30-year-old Chanti Dixon had been sexually assaulted and shot to death.
Damn.
This is just disgusting all around, and it did not have to happen.
Police claim
And this is also an interracial murder, okay? Interracial murder. You have a Hispanic male murdering a black woman. And, you know, this is something that is really going to pull at the heartstrings, but it's not national news. Surprise, surprise, it really isn't. And like I said, we should be questioning his legal status because it may play a role in why this happened.
29-year-old Uber driver Francisco Valadez picked up the victim from work early Sunday morning and drove Dixon to her home at this apartment complex just a few feet from the woods where she was murdered. According to this affidavit, Valadez gave conflicting stories, but eventually admitted to shooting the victim while trying to have sex with her. After dumping Dixon's body, the suspect confessed he tried to have sex with her again.
This is a family.
So this guy is a monster, a disgusting animal. I mean, deleting her wasn't enough. He's a necrophiliac. This is disturbing, to say the least. These super burrito gremlins are on demon time.
His worst nightmare. We're disgusted by these allegations.
Finally, formal charges by the prosecutor's office in this case are still pending. In the meantime, IMPD asks anyone who may have had a suspicious encounter with the suspect using rideshare in recent weeks to contact their department. Jesse Wells, Fox 59 News.
All right, Jesse, thank you. Officials with Uber sent a statement saying their heart breaks for the victim's family, adding that the details of this case are atrocious and that they will assist police however they can. Meanwhile, there are steps that police recommend taking to protect yourself on a ride. They say making sure that the car that pulls up matches the description from your rideshare app, to share your trip with a trusted family member using the location app. You can also track the ride by watching your own Maps app so you know where you're going.
Meanwhile, we are learning more tonight about a murder investigation here in Indianapolis. A rideshare driver admits to detectives he shot and killed a female customer.
That woman's body was discovered on the near side.
And let's just keep it a buck. A lot of these DoorDash drivers, rideshare drivers are illegal aliens. From what I'm hearing, a lot of them are coming out of Venezuela, especially in Chicago. And I've heard a lot about this. But yeah, man, this is a scary sight here, and just a horrible experience for the woman and her family.
Southeast side yesterday, CBS 4's Jesse Wells spoke to the woman's family and to police, the IMPD police chief about this case.
The victim's family tells me they tracked her phone down to these woods where they found her body and called police. Less than 24 hours later, IMPD had the suspect in custody and are now preaching a message of prevention. Just after 1 o'clock Monday afternoon, in these woods on Indy's near southeast side, a woman who had been reported missing hours earlier was found naked with a shirt pulled over her head. Police believe 30-year-old Chanti Dixon had been sexually assaulted and shot to death.
Wow.
This is just disgusting all around, and it did not have to happen.
Police claim a 29-year-old Uber driver, Francisco Valadez, picked up the victim from work early Sunday morning and drove Dixon to her home at this apartment complex just a few feet from the woods where she was murdered. According to this affidavit, Valadez gave conflicting stories, but eventually admitted to shooting the victim while trying to have sex with her. After dumping Dixon's body, the suspect confessed he tried to have sex with her again.
This is a family's worst nightmare. We're disgusted by these allegations.
Police quickly used rideshare information from Uber to help track down the accused killer.
Rideshares continue to be an excellent and a safe option to use when you're out in our community.
And, you know, although it may feel like that, it's starting to begin not to be true, especially if these rideshare companies are not hiring American drivers.
While they insist the murder in these woods is an isolated incident, IMPD says rideshare users can always share their location with friends and family, and women should trust their instincts if things feel dangerous.
Women, you have a right to exist in this community safely, and you have a right to use these rideshares safely. Trust yourself.
This is disgusting. It's disturbing. Ms. Dixon, especially her family, no one deserves to be treated this way in our community.
Finally, formal charges by the prosecutor's office in this case are still pending. In the meantime, IMPD asks anyone who may have had a suspicious encounter with the suspect using rideshare in recent weeks to contact their department. Jesse Wells, CBS 4 News.
A spokesperson from Uber sent CBS 4 a statement saying in part, quote, "Our hearts break for Miss Dixon's family and loved ones in the midst of this tragedy. We will assist Indianapolis police however we can as they continue to investigate."
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Jenquavius Jackson, and y'all already know I'm demonetized and shadow banned in this bitch. So if you want to contribute, go to the Cash App, the PayPal, the GoFundMe, or join the Patreon. Also, don't forget to visit the merch store for all your favorite BGZM News 17 gear, including our exclusive Trump is a Blood t-shirt. Go fast before they sell out. They are already flying off the shelves, no cap. And remember, these super gremlins are on demon time.
An Uber driver is arrested for the murder of 30-year-old Chanti Dixon, who was missing this weekend. The driver confessed to killing Dixon. ITV's Kat Sandoval pieces together what happened.
This is where Chanti Dixon's body was found, in the woods on a dead-end street on Wagner Lane. It's also just a few feet away from her apartment. Police say 29-year-old Uber driver Francisco Valadez drove Dixon to the scene Sunday morning. Valadez told police he initially attempted to have sex with Dixon in the back of his car, but he got angry with her. He later admitted to police he shot her in the head in his car, then hid Dixon's body behind the concrete barrier. He also said he tried to have sex with her again. Dixon was found naked with a sweatshirt pulled over her head and arms, lying on her stomach.
This is just disgusting all around, and it did not have to happen. This is a family that's been ripped apart. This woman is gone from the world unnecessarily.
As a woman, this hits differently for me. Women, girls, mothers, they have a right to exist freely in our community without fear of something heinous happening to them. They have a right to walk, bike, order a ride share without fearing something bad will happen to them.
Friends say this video of Dixon seen on the right shows how happy she was. They didn't want to talk on camera, but one of her neighbors did. Because we all pretty much, we look out for each other here. And for that to happen is sad, and for it to be a ride share, that's really sad. You're not even safe getting a ride home. Neighbors tell me they've seen Dixon moving into this apartment. They've seen her with her kids and her dog. Horrific. Horrific. That didn't even, it doesn't even make sense. The girl, she just moved here. She ain't even been here a week. Uber said they have banned Valadez from the app and will continue to assist Indianapolis police in this case. Police also stress that when taking a rideshare, there are options to share your real-time location with people you know.
If something doesn't feel right to you during your ride, you can ask the person to pull over and you can get out.
Police want to hear from anyone who...
I mean, if somebody is trying to murder and rape you, they're not going to let you go. That's kind of a insane cope answer from the police woman here, and she should understand that more than anybody.
Was ridden with Valadez in the past and had any issues with him. Reporting in Indianapolis, I'm Kat Sandoval, Wish TV, wishtv.com, or follow us on Facebook for updates.
And Dixon's close friend sent us this statement saying, "I am hurt and devastated of this happening. It hit so close to home and it hurt so bad. She was goofy, she was happy, always laughing, always caring. She was a mom before anything, hardworking and dedicated to her goals. She was such a big impression on all around her." Uber and Lyft report dozens of deadly assaults in the past couple of years. Check this out. Lyft reports a total of 16 in 2021, 2022 as well. Uber reports 36. Now, the number of
and they're trying to tell you crime is down. Watch this.
sexual assaults much higher in that same period. Lyft reports 1,752. Uber reports 2,717.
Isn't it disturbing that we can only get accurate crime data from private companies and rideshare services? Ridiculous.
Both companies say they do have safety features in their app to protect both riders and drivers.
Women, girls, mothers, they have a right to exist freely in our community without fear of something heinous happening to them.
Police say an Indianapolis Uber driver shot and killed a woman who was riding with him and then dumped her body on the southeast side of the city. This is an update to a story we first brought you on Monday.
Now, investigators say the crime happened over the weekend, but the woman's body wasn't found until Monday afternoon. Tonight, WRTV's Adam Shooms is learning more from police about what they say happened.
This is 30-year-old Chanti Dixon. She's a hustler. She's gonna do whatever she got to do to take care of her family.
Her best friend, Pino William, told us about the woman she was.
If I was there, it wouldn't happen. We always made sure we got home safe.
Police say Dixon's body was found Monday afternoon near East Raymond Street and South Sherman Drive on Indy's southeast side. Court documents say the family became suspicious after they didn't hear from her after she got off work Sunday morning. The family filed a missing persons report on Monday morning. Court documents say 29-year-old Uber driver Francisco Valadez told police he picked Dixon up from her work around 3:30 Sunday morning. He attempted to have sex with her in his car, but got angry after a fight with Dixon, and he shot her. Court records allege Valadez dragged her body from the car, sexually assaulted her, and left her body in a wooded area. Police arrested him for Dixon's murder.
This is disgusting. It's disturbing.
IMPD said using rideshare apps are generally safe. Police are urging people to share their location with friends and family members and say you can always ask a driver to pull over if you don't feel safe.
As a woman, this hits differently for me. Women, girls, mothers, they have a right to exist freely in our community without fear of something heinous happening to them. They have a right to walk, bike, order a ride share without fearing something bad will happen to them.
In Indianapolis, Adam Schoombs, WRTV.
IMPD says if you know anything about Francisco Valadez, investigators would like you to speak up. You can call IMPD at the number you see right there.
About a woman allegedly murdered by her rideshare driver on the city's southeast side.
Metro Police said they arrested the man after she was reported missing on Monday.
Our Chase House spoke with a neighbor and police who say this is just disgusting and disturbing.
Yeah, and that neighbor telling me her body was found directly behind this concrete barrier. Now police confirming today that 30-year-old Chanti Dixon was found shot to death.
Just next to the dead-end road where she was found on is where Dixon lived.
She just moved over here, seemed like a pretty good woman. She stayed to herself. She was with her kids and her little dog. She had a cute little dog.
IMPD arresting 29-year-old Francisco Valadez for allegedly killing Dixon. Police say he was her rideshare driver and picked her up around 3:30 in the morning to take her home, but she never made it.
That shouldn't happen to anybody, regardless of whatever you doing, whoever you are, wherever. That shouldn't happen to anybody. And I feel bad for her kids. I feel real bad for her kids because now they don't have a mother.
While the chief wouldn't say what rideshare app Valadez was working for, according to court documents, he was working for Uber the night he allegedly killed Dixon. In a statement from Uber, they say Valadez has since been banned from driving for the...
Now, will they say his citizenship status? That's something that we need to talk about.
...company, and that they will assist IMPD with their investigation.
Women, you have a right to exist in this community safely, and you have a right to use these ride shares safely. Trust yourself.
And while police say rideshare apps are typically safe to use, they recommend doing things like making sure the driver in the car matches what it says on the app. Share your ride with people you know, and if something doesn't feel right, ask the driver to pull over and get out.
And according to these court documents, Valadez allegedly told police 2 different stories before he admitted to allegedly shooting and killing Dixon in the backseat of his car. And while police say this may be an isolated incident, they ask anyone who may encountered Valadez to please come forward. Reporting here in Indianapolis, Chase Howell, 13 News.
Chase, thank you. We also reached out to Lyft to see if Valadez also drove for them. They told us there are no records of him working there.
A mother is devastated after her daughter's death. Tonight, she is speaking up for the first time after her daughter's body was found on Monday.
Police say an Uber driver is responsible for the crime. The victim's mother spoke with WRTV's Adam Schoombs. She is urging people to remain vigilant while using rideshare services.
She was fun. She was courageous. A ball of life.
Risa Dixon talks about her daughter Chanti in the past tense.
I keep waiting for her to walk through the door, but I know she's not gonna walk through the door.
Police say her 30-year-old daughter's body was found in a wooded area near East Raymond Street and South Sherman Drive on Monday.
For people that's out there doing stuff like that man did to my child, because you picked up a stripper at work and you thought wasn't nobody gonna care, we care. And y'all can't do that.
Court documents.
You know, and I wish that care translated to the woman respecting herself enough not to be involved in the industry in the first place. But like I said, that still doesn't give this man justification to commit a vile, heinous act like this one here. These super burrito gremlins are on demon time.
Say her Uber driver, 29-year-old Francisco Valadez, picked Dixon up around 3:30 Sunday morning from work at Sunset Strip off West 16th Street. According to court documents, Valadez attempted to have sex with her in the backseat of his car, but there was a fight. Valadez told police he shot her.
If you in the ride share, get on FaceTime with somebody. Take self-defense classes. Get you some protection that you're comfortable with. We can't.
Yeah, women, if you're in a controversial industry like this, you must be armed. It's a must. It's a requirement.
Prevent everything. And we can't stop everything. But we can cut it down.
The nonprofit What's My Name reiterates that message about rideshare safety.
Everything that we do, again, is before you get into the car, the education, the stop, ask, match, and inform. Matching the license plates, asking the driver, what's my name?
When you feel like you gotta do what you gotta do and it don't feel right, don't do it. And I know she was just trying to get home from work.
The Dixons hope their daughter's legacy lives on.
Do not let what happened.
And, you know, respectfully, what legacy is she really leaving? A legacy of sex work and debauchery and degeneracy. Not much of a dignified legacy to leave.
Diminish what she put out in the world.
In Indianapolis, Adam Shooms, WRTV.
Valadez is expected in court tomorrow morning. Here are some more safety tips from Indiana University when using ride-hailing services. Don't hesitate to skip the ride if something seems suspicious. Ask the driver, what's my name? If that person doesn't say your name, don't get into the vehicle. Confirm the driver's name, the make of the vehicle, and the license plate before you get in, and don't sit in the front seat. Tell someone like a family member or friend what you're doing and where you're going.
So developing tonight, we're hearing from the family of a young mother who police say was shot and killed by her Uber driver.
Police believe the shooting happened on Indy's southeast side as she was coming home from work Sunday morning. Our Chase Howe joins us in studio tonight after speaking with her family.
And they told you they knew something was up when they didn't hear from her.
Yeah, Dustin, Felicia, Chanti Dixon's mom says she always checked in with her, so when she couldn't get a hold of her, she filed a police report with IMPD that next day, never thinking her daughter would end up dead. As Risa Dixon lights her cigarette, she begins to cry when thinking about her daughter, Chanti.
My heart is saying that she's gonna walk through the door, say, hey, mama, what y'all doing? That's what my heart's saying, but I know she not gonna physically walk through the door. She always say, Ma, you know you my best friend. And I'm like, girl, yeah, I know. And you my best friend.
Chanti was also a mother, an aunt, and the oldest of her siblings.
You could not miss her presence because she was gonna let you know when she come through the door. And when I say, hey y'all, and she made sure that her kids, her nieces, her nephews, her sisters, her brother, they knew that she loved them.
Dixon says Chanti not only left an imprint on those she met, but also left them feeling loved.
And it seems like she had, you know, pretty good energy for the people that she interacted with and the lives that she touched and affected. Man, it's a shame what happened to her because she seemed like a really cool stripper. No cap. And it looks like she has a son in the back, single mother stripper, trying to make that bread to feed her kids and ends up getting completely deleted by a super burrito gremlin on demon time. Where's Black Lives Matter? Where's Protect Black Women Brigade? Where's the Black Girl Magic crowd nowhere to be found.
She was so selfless. So selfless. She would put herself in dumb positions just to help her friends out. So take that selfless and take that love. Y'all want to remember her, y'all get a heart. Y'all get a heart and show the love. Because that's what she would have wanted and that's what she would have did.
Now, I was talking to Dixon off camera, and she told me Chanti was her oldest. And so I asked her, I'm like, what was it like when she was born? And she was saying how Chanti was the only child of hers that never caused her any pain. And at 6 months, she was walking and talking, and she was like, well, she never stopped. So.
Warm memories. Hopefully she clings to those right now. All right, Chase, heartbreaking. Thank you.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.